Perfect. Radio. Right, so like I said, tonight's topic is self-encouragement. Let's wait for some others. Where am I driving to? Away from the area where I can pick up little signal. For those of you that know, you'll know that we live next to a park, which makes the internet really bad. It's disgusting. The reception, the internet is really bad. Hey Jordan. Okay, you can see me. Brilliant. The only thing is I don't want to move and then I come back and the car parking space is gone. But yes, you guys can hear me, so that's all cool. Maybe I should wind the window down, but then that's it. No, it's alright. Right, so yes, please be thinking about self-encouragement and how we actually encourage yourself. Lamisha, I don't know what you're showing your eyes for or whatever. I came home from work and I've just been rushed, been trying to prepare for tonight and wipe my screen. Listen, is it because it's dark or is that better? Listen, wipe my screen. I think it's my camera's not very good. But yeah, it looks a bit. It's the sun coming in, darling. Yes, him alone. What? Yeah, him alone. Let's wait for some others. Regina, are you here? Lizzie, are you here? But whilst we're waiting, I want you to think about encouraging your. Yes, I got your credit, him alone. Think about encouraging yourself. I actually left the house to get the credit outside. Hey, Lizzie. And encouraging ourselves. The weather's beautiful, isn't it, guys? Don't complain that it's too hot. The weather is absolutely beautiful. Keeping COVID at bay. Keeping Corona at bay. 30 degrees is lush. That compensates for us not being able to fly this year. The weather is absolutely beautiful. Right, guys? In England, in Jamaica, the weather's beautiful. Thumbs up. Right. I'm not complaining. Listen, when it's cold, I hate it. Because I don't like wearing clothes and jackets and all of that. I like to be free. It is amazing. For the ones that have been sunbathing in their back garden, well done. In their bikinis. Hey, Camilla. Right, guys. So, like I said, we're focusing on encouraging ourselves. No, COVID can't survive in heat at all. Exactly. Hence why I'm loving the heat. If we could stay like this all year round and just get rid of COVID, I'd be happy. Get rid of it. I'm so bored of it now. It's boring. Just go. Yeah, just let's get back to normal now. It's boring. Stay where you are. We don't like you. Go away. You've taken too many lives. You've disrupted too many families, and I think it's time now that you should go. But yes, the sun is keeping COVID at bay. Right, so tonight we're talking about encouraging ourselves. And I really want you to think about how you as a person do that. Before I go any further, I'd like you to know that I don't proclaim to know everything at all. I don't proclaim to know everything at all. I don't know everything at all. I do a lot of research and I've had my own experience as well as ask other people to talk. So if I say something that you don't agree with, that's just my personal opinion and I can stand corrected. Hey, RBH, I can stand corrected should someone not like what I've said, if it's offended anyone. But we're here to encourage each other. This is the real thing of this program, to encourage, to educate and to inspire each other. So that's what we're here to do. So how do you encourage yourself? How do you encourage yourself? The word encourage in itself means to inspire with courage, spirit or confidence. God has not given us a spirit of fear but of power, love and self-control. All of us, myself included, wants to be encouraged, but not all of us are good at it, especially towards ourselves. You know what? Encouragement is actually a gift to us. It's a gift that can be used for ourselves, but also to give to others to make a difference in their lives. So it's an actual gift. Having the spirit of encouragement is a gift that we can use on ourselves, but also to make the lives of others better also. You want to be rich? It's not impossible for you to be rich, but it's what you do to get there and how you do it to get there that can make you rich. And also, what do you want to be rich in, him alone? Is it that you want to be rich with money, or you want to be rich spiritually, or you want to be rich mentally? Richness is relative to each other. Up to every person is relative. It depends on what rich means to you, love. Right, so have you felt discouraged lately? Have you thought about why? What have you done to overcome this discouragement? Have you felt discouraged lately? I surely have. I've thought about why, and I've done things to overcome that discouragement. So think to yourself for a minute. Have I within myself felt discouraged lately? Have you found what's discouraged you? And what have you done, or what are you planning to do to overcome that discouragement? You might ask, so what does encouragement look like? Tell me, guys. Talk to me. What does encouragement look like for you? Let's see in your comments. What does encouragement look like for you? There are a few people that's going to speak tonight, which I'm really encouraged for and about. But I want you to tell me before they come on what encouragement actually looks like. What does it look like? G, what does encouragement look like to you? Lizzie, what does encouragement look like to you? Lambs, what does encouragement look like to you? Jadane, what does encouragement look like to you guys? Gentle Reformation says encouragement is the giving of strength in often difficult tasks. Did you know, you and I, we are vessels ready to receive the strength others can give us. However, we are also vessels to speak positively to ourselves. We're vessels to speak to ourselves, not just to give to others, but also to give to ourselves. The inspirational guru said motivation and spiritual inspiration to keep going. That's what it looks like to her. Very good. Him alone says it looks like a fat belly. The inspirational guru also says, and not accepting quitting as an option. And we're going to hear from the inspirational guru a little bit later on. But that's what it means to her. Chev, what does self-encouragement mean to you? Lamisha said it, talking kind to yourself, being positive. Hey, Auntie Chili. Inspirational Guru says it's strength and the extra push beyond yourself. Definitely. Now, like I said, we are vessels ready to receive the strength others can give to us. However, we must also remember that we have to receive from ourselves. So that means speaking positively to ourselves. Just remember, we can do all things through Christ who gives us strength. We are vessels. So therefore, we need to be using this vessel to inspire us. Because guess what? Sometimes people are not going to encourage us. And not all the time are people being malicious. People have lives. I have a life, you have a life. So sometimes it's not that we're malicious and not wanting to encourage you. We're just living our own lives. But we've got to learn to encourage our own selves. Regina says, encouragement is when someone speaks into you or you speak into someone that helps someone to grow. Definitely, it's about growth, but it's speaking into. But we're talking about the internal part now. It's speaking into yourself. And life is going to knock us down. But it's what you're telling yourself that's going to make a difference. Because it doesn't matter how much you tell me or I tell you you're good enough. If you don't believe you're good enough, you're not going to, come out to anything because you don't believe it in yourself. It's funny. Today I was reading a book at school, actually. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the Mae Jemison story. And basically Mae Jemison, she was an astronaut. And she went to space, and her parents in the book was saying to her, we will believe in you and support you as long as you believe in yourself. There was a condition. What they were trying to tell her is that we can do as much as for you, but if you don't want that good for yourself, you will not be anything that you want to be, because you don't believe it for yourself. So the point I'm trying to make is, we need to be thinking and speaking positively into us as vessels, yes, ready to receive that strength that's coming from God. Hey Lauren, hi Nadisha, Auntie Chili, Nadisha's online, right? Encouragement is also speaking of comfort and truth. When encouraging, you need to be kind. Now, have you been kind to yourself lately? Have you really been kind to yourself lately? What words or phrases have you been telling yourself lately? What have you been telling yourself lately? Are you kind? It's easy for us to be kind to other people, and sometimes we can be very hard on ourselves. Have you been kind to yourself? Gracious words are like a honeycomb, sweetness to the soul and health to the body. Lamisha says, yes, not relying on others to encourage us or praise us. You have to believe in yourself and believe in what you're doing. Otherwise, no one else will. Definitely. You have to believe in your vision as others won't. Yes. And some people are dream killers, even the closest people to us. You might have a dream and you want to share that dream, but they're dream killers because they were not journeyed to be on that journey for you or with you in fulfilling that vision that you have, or that purpose that God has given us. So it's not good to share our visions and our dreams with everyone. We need to be careful. No matter how close some of us are to other people, some people are dream killers. Some people are dream stealers. Be careful. Discern who to tell things to. And if people are not encouraging you and praying you up and saying, yes, you can do it, don't tell them your dreams, because they're going to kill it. Now, encouragement is a call from alongside. That's to strengthen and comfort yourself. You need to look deep within. We need to be looking inwards deeply. Look at your small wins and the things that make you uniquely you. What are your small wins that you're flippant about, that you're not celebrating? You're not celebrating it because it's so small, but you need to celebrate it because that's your small win. And if you celebrate that, that's encouraging yourself that actually I can do greater things because I've done these small things. Positively journey with yourself and see your heart open up to the positivity. Let no corrupting talk come out of your mouths, but only such as is good for building up, as fits the occasion, that it may give grace to those who hear it. You are hearing what you're speaking. Be very careful that your eardrums are not hearing negative things about you that you start believing, that you then forget. You then forget that actually I'm a vessel myself. You end up forgetting that you're a vessel. No, that light is not very good. That's better. Sorry. You end up forgetting that you're a vessel yourself. How are you speaking to yourself on a daily basis? I'm going to share something with you. Earlier in the week, I was feeling very low, very discouraged, and I had to really break some chains. I had to pray and I had to break some chains, and I had to say, you know what, Satan, I'm a child of God. I'm a child of a king. I'm fearfully and wonderfully made. So all these things that you're saying about me, that's not what God said about me. That's what I do. But what do? You might not be prayerful like me. You might not believe like I do. And to each his own. But that's what I did. And I had to loose some chains in my life. Because guess what? You're not going to tell me any different from what my Heavenly Father has told me who I am and who I am for. We need to be speaking positively into our lives. You notice how I've come back. And this is something I'm passionate about, because it's like, you know what? I've been through it. I've been there. And I had to bind up some chains. Bind it up because it's not for me. God never said that. It's the enemy coming into my ears and telling me that. No, God never said I'm worthless. God never said I'm a nobody. God never told me that. God told me that I'm fearfully and I'm wonderfully made, and I can do all things through him because he gives me strength. That's what my God told me. What are you doing to encourage yourself? Speak back the words that he's written. Speak them back to him. For those of you that don't pray or don't know how to pray, how are you encouraging yourself? Encouragement is also building up. What you say has power to either help you up or help you down. You should really be helping yourself up, not down. Do you see yourself as precious treasures? Really think, do I see myself as a precious treasure? And I'm not thinking the vanity thing of looking pretty, and I'm not saying anything's wrong with looking pretty, but do you really see yourself beyond all of this? Do you see who you are, your soul, your person, your inner being, your spirit? Do you know that you're a treasured person? You were made to do more and better than you're actually doing now. Your words have upheld him who was stumbling, and you have made firm the feeble knees. How are you building up yourself? Are you helping up, or are you helping yourself down by the power of your tongue? Right, Lamisha, I'm gonna call you and you're going to speak about how you've encouraged yourself in your situation. Hopefully it works because I'm not in the house.
Are you there, Lam? Lammy, are you here? They're waiting. I don't know what's happening. But whilst we wait for Lamisha, why do you think then we should encourage ourselves? Why should we encourage ourselves? Think about it. Why should we encourage ourselves? Lammy, send me a request to be in on the chat. Maybe that's easier. You there? I can't hear it. Oh, you are. It's just that. Oh God, you're on Bluetooth. Hang on. I need to switch you off Bluetooth. Sorry.
You there? Hello? Send me a request to be in on a live, please, Lammy. So strange. This car. Oh, while Moment says, encouragement is being resilient about our purpose and resolving to find positives in the situation. Definitely. But you know what, Auntie Chile, sometimes we're human beings and sometimes we end up yielding to the flesh and believing what we've been told, what we've heard, and the enemy's lies that's been put there to trip us up. It's been put there, but it's until, and you know, when we get these emotions, we need to feel them. Don't be scared of feeling or emotions, but we need not to stay in those emotions. We need to come out of those emotions and say, actually, that's not who God said I was. I am sorry. I'm not that kind of person. It's okay to feel those emotions because we're human, but it's not staying in those emotions. It's not a permanent place to live. Not at all. Not in discouragement. You will go mad. Spiritually, mentally, emotionally, physically, in every way. Right. So why should we encourage ourselves then? Why should we definitely encourage ourselves? Lammy, are you there? I don't know what's happening. Why should we encourage ourselves? There's a song actually by Donald Lawrence and the Tri-Singers, and I've been listening to that. Yeah, it's just encouraged me. Lammy, you can't come in. I don't understand why. Can you guys hear me, by the way? Send me a thumbs up because Lammy can't come in. Let me show if you send me a request to come in. Right. And I'm just going to play. I don't know if you guys are going to hear it, but please just listen to the words of the song if it decides to play. I can't sing it. I can only play it. Oh, Siobhan can hear. That's good. Hang on. Let's just listen to the song. Lamisha, send me a request. I'll stop it in a minute, but just listen. Hey, Zaina. 1 second. I'll restart that song. Lamisha, I've seen your request. I'll accept it in a minute, but let's just listen to the words of this song. Just the first verse of this song for a little bit. Just to encourage yourself. Just listen. will. Hang on. Basically, guys, it's saying sometimes we have to speak a word over ourselves because life can get hard, but we have to get up and speak that word over ourselves. And it's just been an encouraging song for me throughout the years, but this week it's really ministered to me and reminded me that I am encouraged because I'm more than a conqueror. Greater is in me than he that is in the world. It just reminded me. Thanks. Hang on one second. Let me just pin it. I don't want to pin it. I'll send it because then people come in and not know what we're talking about. Encourage yourself, it's called. So it's there. If you want to look it up later on, it's there. Right. So we're going to hear from Lamisha about how she's spoken to herself, encouraged herself, and overcome what she's gone through. Are you there, Lambs? Hey, yay! Yes.
That was the garden. Yeah, don't watch me.
You know, when I said the people in the garden, yeah. Just giving themselves.
Yeah? Wait, where is it?
I don't think they want to see that. Anyhow. Right, so tell us about your, you know, when you've been really low, but and you've had to really pick yourself up and encourage yourself.
Do you know what, Zoe? It took me a long time to kind of be able to do that myself, because as I was saying before, it's you shouldn't rely on people. And I think for me, it's not that I was relying on people, but it was just I kind of felt good if someone was like, do you know what, okay, you've done this, or this is really good, or I saw you doing this. And when you don't get that, it's kind you have to kind of think to yourself, do you know what, I have to do this myself, because as you said, everybody has lives and everyone got their own stuff that they're doing. But recently, I've kind of obviously just been reading, meditating. There's a song that I've been listening to that I make sure I listen to every single day by Smokey Norfolk, and it's called Dear God. And every day, like, the song is so uplifting, and I make sure that it's just become a ritual for me that I listen to that in the morning. Once I wake up, I'll listen to that song, I'll meditate, I'll do all the things to make myself feel good, to stay in a kind of positive like mind frame, because I think being positive is a big part of it. And it's really hard to kind of stay positive every single day, because life happens, you know, inevitable things happen, you can't control things that happen. So you just have, I think what I'm trying to do is I'm learning that when things do happen, it's not about what's happened, it's about how you react to things. And no matter what, I've tried to see the best in everything. And no matter what's happening, if it's bad, it's good, you know, this year it's been a year for me. The last 2 years, you know, obviously I'm not going to go into that, and I've just had to kind of really draw strength and just take the good out of it. And look, do you know what? In my head, there's going to be better days to come. There's a light at the tunnel. Things are going to get better, and they have to. The sun has to shine on me, and it will. And it has been, because I've been remaining positive.
Yeah.
But as I was going to say, you just have to kind of find things that work for you. And I think as myself, reading, as I said, and meditating, and obviously I've been, you know, trying to find a closer relationship with God, that's really been helping me. I'll let you know the book that I'm reading. I'm reading a book called Good Vibes Equals Good Life. Not equals, Good Vibes, Good Life. And that's by, what's his name? Oh, Vex King. And he just talks about, you know, trying to talk kind to yourself. And everybody knows that little voice in your head. You know, when you do things or you haven't done something to the best of your ability, you've got that little voice in your head and it's saying, well, you could have done better, or you could have done this. But no, you have to speak kind to yourself. And as you said, your eardrums need to hear kind things. And I think at the moment for me, I'm really trying, I'm not comparing myself to anybody, you know, I'm not looking at what this person is doing and what that person's. My only competition is myself. So every day it's like I'm comparing myself to yesterday. I need to improve on myself from yesterday. What did I do to yesterday that I can improve on today? And that really kind of helped me. And working out as well, exercising has really been a kind of breakthrough for me with my mental health and stuff. Like, it's really, once I exercise, I feel great, and it really boosts me for the day to come. Do you know what I mean? And from there, I just kind of make sure that I'm just staying in that positive mood and staying in that positive light for whatever's to come throughout the day. I hope that's helped you, somebody else.
Yeah, That's good. That's definitely good.
Mhm.
And you touched on staying healthy. And the next person in about 2 minutes that I'm going to call is going to talk about their journey with the staying healthy thing. But thank you,
Food
Lambs.
as well, though. It's food. I realised that if I ate certain foods, it would make me feel down, and it's easy to stress. Do you know what I mean? So eating healthy, eating good fruits, you know, fruit and veg, they give you good energy, and they will, do you know, they increase your vibrations. And right now, I'm all about keeping my vibrations high. I don't want nothing low in my vibration. I don't want to hear nothing around me. So I'm basically drowning out the noise. Anything that's not good, I don't want to hear no gossiping. I don't want to hear nothing. I'm just focusing on me and all the good things that I need to be doing myself and making sure.
And what you've already done, really, and all the good things you've already done. Yeah, but that's really good. I'm very happy for you, Lambs. Thank you so much. Right, thank you. And fix your
What
phone.
you doing, girl?
Fix your phone. Right, there you have it from Lamisha, guys. She is keeping her energy positive by the things that she's listening to and what she's eating and what she's doing. We must really encourage ourselves when we are feeling disheartened, you know, lonely, low, out of place, etc., etc. Be kind to yourself, forgive yourself, and heal from whatever you're feeling. Be kind to you, to the vessel that you are. Give yourself permission to feel those emotions. You have to give yourself permission to feel those emotions, but heal from them. Don't live there. Nothing is wrong with the emotions that you're feeling. However, you've got to pick yourself up and say, actually, I felt it, I've dealt with it, move on from it. Don't live in that emotions, because guess what? Emotions will come to all of us, but it's how we deal with them after they come. Yes? A man who is kind benefits himself, but a cruel man hurts himself. Be careful of what you're telling yourself or what you're allowing to fester within your spirit. Encouragement can help our outlook on life as a whole. Christian college education has given a number, hey Lamar, of benefits of this encouragement. They've given a number of benefits of encouragement. They say encouragement is an accomplishment within itself. Words of encouragement helps us to overcome the obstacles that lay between us and our objectives. Obstacles and trials can physically and emotionally and even spiritually drain us, but the right words can actually revitalize us. Encouragement also gives us hope. When we are at our lowest, we tend to withdraw. I do that. When we are at our lowest, we tend to withdraw. I tend to withdraw from people. I don't think that's a good thing, but I tend to withdraw, and I tend to go and say, Lord, you need to help me here, because I retrieve, I withdraw, and because I fear judgment. However, if there is someone who can empower us with encouragement, then that person will help us to be delivered. They will give us hope. So I need to learn that when I'm discouraged, if I can't manage it on my own, I need to reach out to people. Not when it's too late and too far gone, but reach out to people and say, actually, I'm feeling a bit low today. And don't worry about the judgment. People that want good for me, by the way. Not any and anybody, but reach out to people that I know want the best for me. So it's about reaching out to those people and actually saying, you know what, I'm feeling low. Pray with me. Pray for me. You know, help me. It's good to reach out. Don't withdraw. I tend to do that a lot. When we feel trapped in the dark, these words can motivate us to take the small steps, one after the other, until we see the light. Encouragement can give us perspective. It is easy to get confused and view the world differently when we are struggling. Because, you know, we start hearing these different voices and we start making things up in our head, things that don't even go like that, because we're overthinking now. So when we're encouraged by ourselves or by others, it helps us to view things differently. Our focus can then shift to immediate and petty things when we're discouraged. The making up of stuff in our head and thinking things, and I'm guilty of that, and thinking things that is not even existing. Our desire to survive blinds us from the big picture, often leading us into wrong decisions. A word of encouragement can calm us down long enough to take stock of what is really going on. Yes, thus empowering us to view different situations with a wiser perspective. Encouraging ourselves boosts our self-esteem. And I'm going to pause there for a second because I want you to hear this story from this young lady about how her journey went and how her self-encouragement and from others helped to boost her self-esteem to get the outcome, or to be working towards the outcome that she now wants. Are you there, lovely? Are you there? Hello. Hey, hey, hey.
Good evening. Hello, hello. Hi.
Yes, good evening. You're gonna share with the live your experience, what I saw this week that I was telling you about, what I saw this week. So for those of you that don't know and I have your number, I watch WhatsApp. I don't respond. You'll never catch me responding sometimes, but I watch. I see everything. So yes, go on. Just tell them your story, please, darling.
All right. Yes, sure. So, my story is I've been battling obesity since 2014 when it really started. So I used to be like really skinny or slim. I used to be like a size 12 and whatnot. And funny enough, that year when I'd come back from Jamaica, I came off contraception and stuff. My hormones went crazy. And I was just eating. I just found myself overeating. At the same time, I had a really bad breakup with my ex-partner out there. Found out some things that were very heartbreaking. And I just got into comfort eating. At the same time, I went back to university. So when you're doing those late night studies, you're having stress through studies, you're eating. You know, as students, we do that. But mine became a really big problem. So over the years, it was like a binge eating problem. And that same year in 2014, my weight went from a size 12 to a size 18 in the space of 6 months. It was really scary how it happened. But now at the time, it wasn't too much of a problem because I was thick. So when I saw how thick I was getting, I got gassed up like, yeah, I'm thick, you know, body thick. And I was excited. So I didn't mind the weight gain because my body was thick. But then I didn't realize that I was abusing my body. I was damaging myself. So it kept getting worse and worse and worse over the years. In 2015, I did lose. 2016, I did go on a weight loss journey because I did a 21-day Daniel fast. I lost like nearly a stone. But unfortunately, as months went by, I went back to my old habits. So obesity is really a battle. Like if you can find yourself slipping back and, you know, getting back on and slipping back and getting back on. And that year I was warned that, listen, you're 27 years old. Your BMI is of a 43-year-old. Your BMI is at risk. When your body mass index is at risk, that means you're at risk of early death. You're at risk of heart attack. You're at risk of diabetes. You're at risk of cardiovascular disease. So that's when I went and did something to lose weight. But I went and gained the weight back again. So in 2018, this is when my obesity really became evident. Now, at times when you're overweight, you don't see it the way other people see it. So I just saw it as, okay, I'm just really thick in weight and I'm just big. But I went through a season where I started to feel depressed because I would look in the mirror, I was hating myself, I wasn't happy, I could barely fit into all the nice clothes I wanted to fit into. I had to spend a lot of my time wearing black clothes to cover up. And eventually you can't cover up no more. You'll be covering up and covering up and covering up, but eventually you'll get sick of covering up, you know, because I was trapped. I was in a bondage of obesity. I was in a bondage of food addiction. We hear so much talk about alcohol addiction, sex addiction, drug addiction. But I think one addiction that they fail to talk about is gluttony. Gluttony in the Bible is actually listed as one of the 7 deadliest sins. Okay, gluttony. Gluttony is a sin. It's a deadly sin because it can lead to your death. You can actually eat yourself to death. I was binge eating myself to death. Okay, so I was having countless anxiety attacks. It was so ridiculous that the amount of times ambulance, listen, if you were to go into my medical records, the amount of time ambulance were at my house at 4 in the morning because I felt like I was having a heart attack when really it was an anxiety attack. And when you don't eat well, when you have all these chemicals, you're not drinking water, it's going to trigger things, okay? So I found myself getting sick ever so often. And eventually my body was screaming for help. So it's like I felt to myself, you know, I'm a coach, I'm a woman in leadership. I speak and I teach people how to be great, how to take care of themselves, how to have a good mindset. But behind closed doors, I'm abusing my body. My body's my temple. God gave me this. I'm abusing it. So I went and got help, got a personal trainer, and I lost over 15 kg in 2018. So by the time I turned 30, I was already more than halfway to my 75 kg goal. But guess what happens, sis? Life got in the way. I lost my dream
You
job.
started doing it again.
Yeah, I lost my dream job. What I thought was my dream job back then, actually. I lost. I was struggling with law school. Everything was just crashing down, one after the other. So I fell into a depression. And when I fell into the depression, I started binge eating again. So I went into that stage where I was like, I don't care. I don't want to talk to no one. I withdrew, just like you said, which can be bad. I withdrew myself from people. I was just overeating. But then I got back up. And what helped me get back up is I started praying. I was like, you know what, God, I don't like what's going on. And I started to get really angry with myself because I felt so disappointed in myself that after all that hard work, I allowed life throw me off so much that I got back on my addiction. So all that weight I lost, I gained it back plus more, okay, within a year afterwards. And that's when I now said, you know what, God, I want you to help me to get my house in order, help me to get my financial house in order, help me to get my body in order. And my personal trainer said to me, listen, okay, you fell off, you fell into depression, but you didn't die. You're still here. What matters is not how you fell off, it's how you get back up. So what we need to do is help you get back up, and start again. If you have to start again, the fact is you didn't quit on yourself entirely. Get back up. Let's fix the damage. So with a lot of encouragement from my parents, me doing a lot of affirmations, I'm very, very strong with affirmations. I was writing affirmations on my mirror. I write daily affirmations in my journal. I encourage people. Journaling is very powerful. At times, when we were in so much pain, we can't even pray and speak out what we feel to God. So I really encourage people to actually get a journal, because at times what I couldn't express in my heart to talk out to God, I was able to write. And when I was writing those prayers, I'm like, okay, this is how it's all coming out. So I'm really encouraging yourself. I strongly recommend journaling. I journal a lot, even till this day. I journal. When I can't speak out how I feel, the pain I'm in, discouragement I feel, I write it. So during those times when I was really down, I was writing how I was feeling, saying, God, this is how I'm feeling. I'm discouraged. I don't know if I can make it. So I had to spend a lot of time self-encouraging through self-affirmations, journaling, and prayer. Prayer is key. Put God first in everything. So I put on loads of weight and I got injured. And in January, I was in a leg brace for 8 weeks and I was walking in a crutch. This was my body telling me, you are really destroying me. You need to stop. Now, it took a while, but I now said, you know, I'm going to get back up and do this. I have to. I need to take care of my body. I'm going to fight this thing. And I went on a plant-based plan. Guys, I would have never thought I could do plant-based, because me, I love my chicken, I love my fish. But I did it for 8 weeks. And I had the encouragement of my family. I had to self-encourage myself. So even at times when my family were yamming Chinese and Dunkin' Donuts and all their dig there, I had to be saying to myself, I had to remind myself of the vision I saw in my head of me living. This is a life or death situation. Do you want to have diabetes? Do you want to die? In my father's side of the family, he has a history of diabetes. My dad broke that cycle, but both his parents died from it. So I was like, I'm not going to continue the cycle of diabetes. I was that much at risk of self-inflicting diabetes. So I spent a lot of time encouraging myself by seeing that vision in my head. There were days I wanted to quit. There were days I was like, is there any point of me doing this? But I kept seeing that vision of me on stage, talking to thousands of people with a healthy body, with a healthy life, being effective to people, you know, having my kids, being married. Those visions is what helped me to encourage myself to keep going. Even on days when I felt like, you know, I had low vibrational days where I'm like, I don't know if I can do this anymore. I'm tired of the sacrifice. Is there any point in this? What if I gain weight all over again? I've been fighting this thing since 2014. But I just then had to remember, listen, I can do all things through Christ that strengthens me. I was reading books like Think and Grow Rich. You know, I was doing Bible devotionals. The Bible app has amazing plans, Bible plans that you can use to keep yourself encouraged. You know, I continued with my journaling, or I'll reach out to my trainer. And if I'm having days where I'm craving stuff I shouldn't crave, he'll encourage me to eat certain things. So all glory to God, guys. In January, if you see a picture, I think I put it in my story, and Zodia saw it. I looked back at the picture of me in January when I was obese, and I had my leg crutch, and I was taking a picture with someone, and I looked back and I was like, oh my God, was that how bad it was? Like I said, you don't know how bad it is when you're in it. But when I looked at the picture, I was like to my dad, Daddy, was that really me in January? And that day I had a speaking engagement. I was meant to speak, but they had to cancel the speaking because we were over time. And I was like, thank you, God, I did not speak, because I was not myself. Sis, to buy that outfit that you saw me wearing there, I couldn't fit into no clothes. I was walking around West End for 4 hours trying to find an outfit that fits. And I was so down and depressed because I was that obese and overweight. I couldn't even wear normal clothes. Size 16 clothes couldn't fit me. I had to wear size 18 to 20. Me, size 18 to 20. I was like, no, this has to stop, you know? So when I look back at the picture, all I could do was give glory to God. And that picture, funny enough, was reminding me that I've come so far now that I can never quit. So at times when I was feeling discouraged, I now look back at that photo, like, look at where you were in January and look at where you are now. I was 30 pounds heavier. I was 2.5 stones heavier. My BMI was at risk, and my BMI was obese. Right now, my BMI is mid-overweight. A whole lot. I was 35.9, which was at the borderline of severely at risk. Now I'm 29.6. That's a big drop. So when I look and see that, I was like, you know what? I need to put this up, because there are many people out there who have gone through what I've gone through. They're struggling with weight gain. They're struggling with obesity. They're struggling with some form of addiction, and they're struggling with having to cover up. I'm going to keep it real, and I'm going to tell people, like, listen, this inspirational guru that you guys look up to, I fight battles behind closed doors as well. I'm not perfect. I fight battles. So let me tell you guys about my battle of obesity, so that you can know that even the best of us go through it, and you can know that if God can help me, he can help you. I had an amazing team as well, because I use amazing life-changing products that were helping me with my weight loss. I was taking CBD detox teas, NutriBurst, drinking a gallon of water a day, and I stayed consistent with my meal plans and the products. And I'm like, okay, now I'm going to help somebody. It's not all about me. I'm going to help somebody that's struggling. I'm going to help somebody know how to encourage themselves, even when they don't have the support. You know, sometimes your own family members don't support you. I had family members trying to tell me how fast my journey should be, but yet they weren't on the journey with me. So I had to count on myself, count on God, count on my own power. And at times when my vibrations were low, I had to remember my vision. That's what kept me going. I want people to understand that it's a process of transmutation. Transmutation is basically the process you have to go through to reach your higher self, okay? Butterflies have to transmute. Caterpillars have to transmute to become butterflies. Diamonds are formed under pressure, okay? Seeds grow in darkness. So you do not have to deal with that battle alone. It is a process of transmutation. And once you understand that this is a process of transmutation where the true transformation takes place, you will not quit on yourself. You will keep going.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you very much for that.
Yeah.
Thank you. Don't go anywhere. Stay on, but stay on and listen up. Yeah. Thank you very much for that, darling.
God bless you.
There you have it, guys. And when I read her story on WhatsApp, I said I need to get her, because it's showing that it's not just sometimes it's not just the mental discouragement of ourselves we have to deal with. It's the physical part of it as well. And in her weight gain, her obesity, and she saw there was a problem. She had to accept there was a problem in order for it to change. And that's sometimes what happens to us. We don't accept we have a problem. We think, no, we don't, but sometimes we do. And that's when, once you start accepting, healing can start to take place. Right, but like I said, encouraging ourselves boosts our self-esteem. It can act as a refueling station for the esteem. These are incredibly valuable tools that can be taken for granted. Often, it is only when they are diminished that we understand how important they are. When refueled by encouragement, we feel the confidence and the support others have in us as well. If these people trust that we can do it, then can we not trust ourselves? They trust us, so therefore we need to trust ourselves. Encouraging others can help us to also be successful. It is a healthy motivator. It provides a reason to persevere and take the positive outlook on our endeavors, not the negative. This then gives us the best chance for success. Encouraging ourselves is also vital for other people's success. There are many people who are depending on us to guide and pray them through some storms. You may not be important to everyone. I may not be important to everyone, but I am important to at least someone. You're important to somebody. So make sure you're encouraging yourself so that you can then help that person. Yes? It could be your children that's depending on you for encouragement. Your parents, your friends, your colleagues, etc. and etc. It could be somebody that's depending on you being strong for their own encouragement. The encouragement you provide for yourself is attractive to others, and they always want to be in your presence. Let's get out there and encourage yourselves. May he grant you your heart's desire and fulfill all of your plans. So how do we then encourage ourselves? How do we encourage ourselves? How do you encourage yourselves? Please tell me. Apart from speaking affirmation, how else do you encourage yourself? Speak life into your situation and over yourself. If you have a boss who is giving you a hard time, yeah, instead of saying, I hate the boss, which is very easy to do, instead start saying, his heart's going to change towards me. You don't say that aggressively to him, but say, when you're walking and talking, his heart one day will change towards me. You speak it as though it's already happened. If you have wayward children, tell them one day they will return back to you. Whatever you do, speak to the situation as though it's already happened. Let your speech be gracious. Hey, Keisha. Let your speech always be gracious, seasoned with salt, so that you may know how you ought to answer each person. Speak life into your situations and over yourselves. You must be real with God. For those of you that know how to pray, and even if you don't know how to pray, be real with God. Even if you don't think God exists, just say, God, I need help. I'm feeling like this and I'm feeling like that. And he understands our groanings. Just speak to him. I need help. I don't really understand what's going on, but I need help. I know somebody that prays like this. Yeah, Father God, I mean today now, Father God. Yeah, Father God. I mean your son today now. We are dealing with Father. That's how he speaks to God. Might sound very odd to us, but that's how he speaks to God. He's being real with God, yes? Tell him how you feel so that he can renew a right spirit within you. We all have those feelings, but we must feel them. Please feel them, but don't live in those feelings, yes? We must know when to quit on those feelings and move on from those feelings. BeliefNet.com says we must show off our talents. That's another way of how we can encourage ourselves. Show off our talents. My good friend on this live, Regina, always says to me, your gifts will make room for you and it will bring you before kings. Remember, your talents, those are your gifts. They will make room for you. Whatever gifts you've got, use them. They will make room for you. Put them on display to bless somebody else. Write a letter, paint a picture, or do some interior designing. Do something that you like, that is your talent. It will make room for you. Invest time doing something that you excel in, and it will bless others and encourage others, but also yourself, to know that somebody was encouraged and blessed by you encourages yourself. Hello, Mel. In addition, you must renew and revitalize yourself. Get plenty of rest for your body and rejuvenate your soul. Sleep deprivation can impact your mood. Oh, yes, it does. Stay restored and balanced emotionally in the Lord also, so we don't lose heart. Though our outer self is wasting away, our inner self is being renewed day by day. Make sure you're resting. Jadane says we should also commit to our own personal goals. Yes, and sometimes it's so easy to take on somebody else's dream and goals and run with it. But when it comes to ourselves, sometimes we can be so horrible to ourselves. We check for other people more than we check for ourselves sometimes. It's so horrible. I do it. That's how we end up being burnt out, because we're not listening to our body sometimes telling us, slow down. Slow down. But we have to rest. Whatever we do, we must rest. Furthermore, we should embrace grace. That's one way of encouraging ourselves. Embrace grace. Grace is unmerited favor and an amazing free gift from God to us all. As often as you receive it, give it away to those around you. When you get it, give it back. Give it to somebody else. Being gracious to yourself will strengthen and remind you that you were made to love and be loved. Be gracious to yourselves. Visualize yourself being successful, and it will be easier for you to remember you can achieve anything when the trials and the tribulations come. You must also treat yourself with what motivates and encourages you. Do things you enjoy, which will encourage and refresh you as a person. Grow through what you go through and surround yourself with positive people and a positive environment that will help you to be better. So what things you might think can I do to encourage myself? You may be sitting there and thinking what I've just said. There are things that you can do, but it is useless if we don't use them consistently and correctly. Goodfinding.com says we must start a journal, like what Inspirational Guru said. We must start a journal and keep those lists of positive self-statements in one place so we know where to find them when we need them. Read through them at the beginning of each day. Read them out aloud or in your head, whichever. I'd like to say aloud, because then you're hearing them. You're hearing them because it's your voice going out into the atmosphere now, and that's what you're hearing. Yes, because the mind is a battlefield. The enemy loves to play tricks up here. So if you read out those things aloud to yourself, you're hearing them. Yes? And believe what you're saying or reading at that time. Pick one thought or scripture from your list and make it your thought for the day. So it could be, I'm fearfully and wonderfully made. And just keep repeating that throughout the day. I'm fearfully and wonderfully made. I'm fearfully and wonderfully made. I am fearfully. Just keep saying it and repeating it to yourself. And then soon you'll start believing it. Monitor what you say out loud as well to other people, and stop yourself from speaking negatively about yourself. We need to be careful what we're saying, and we're all guilty of it. We need to be careful about what we're speaking about other people and ourselves during this process and during the daytime. We need to be very careful, because what we send out comes back. Be very careful. Watch uplifting videos. Affirm yourself. I've recently taken up walking to the park just after work, come home, or in the evenings. Walk just to clear my head. Clear my head. Just do it. Do something for yourself for an hour at least throughout the day. Clear your head. And when I said affirm yourself, tell yourself things like, I'm beautiful. When was the last time you told yourself you were beautiful? And I'm not even talking in an arrogant way, but actually loving you beyond the vanity. When was the last time you told yourself, you said, you know what? You're beautiful. I'm beautiful. I can achieve anything I put my mind to. When was the last time you told yourself these things? I can do all things through Christ who gives me strength. I will succeed. We need to be speaking these positive things to ourselves. I will succeed. I will achieve my dreams. I'm fearfully and wonderfully made. I am important. You're important. Tell yourself that I am important. I am a treasure. I call your name. I, that person, whatever your name is, I, Zodia, I'm a treasure. I'm a treasure. Tell yourself that. I, Lamisha, I'm a treasure. I, Keisha, I'm a treasure. I, Lamisha, I'm a treasure. I, Zaina, I'm a treasure. I am blessed. My deputy at school, whenever I say to her, how are you today? She's like, I'm blessed. And I'm like, and highly favored too. Tell yourself these things. I'm blessed and highly favored. I am royalty. We come from a lineage of royals. Our Heavenly Father He's a king. So therefore, I must be a princess, his princess, because I'm his child. I come from a lineage of royalty. I'm also a learner. We must all be willing to learn. I'm a learner. Don't have this fixed mindset that I can't do that. Tell yourself, actually, I can't do that yet, but I will learn to do that. I'm a learner. That's something that we need to tell ourselves, because not all of us like to learn because we think we know everything. I'm a learner. So tell yourself, I'm going to learn something new today. See, the inspirational guru said, I am. Those two words are powerful. I am. I am the I am. So the Lord said, I am the I am. Yes? We're all blessed, believe me, and highly favored. Jadane says, we do need to tell ourselves we are beautiful and try to love ourselves more, because many times we do not love ourselves. Yes, sometimes we love other people than we love ourselves. We need to love number one. We are number one. And if we don't take care of this, nobody else will. Because this is us. This is our treasure. We need to cherish ourselves and love ourselves. And you know what? Let the world think you're bold and say, yes, she's too. Well, maybe sometimes they'll have to say, yes, they're arrogant. Yes, I love me. I'm not saying to flaunt it in people's face and be arrogant. I'm not saying that at all. Be modest and humble with it. But hold your head up high. I am beautiful. I am an achiever. I am. You are. You need to start speaking these positive things to yourself, because I think sometimes we're so cruel to ourselves. It's unbelievable. How have you been speaking to yourself of late? How have you been speaking to yourself of late? Right. We've come to the end. But before we go, Mel, are you still here? Would you be able to pray for the live if you're still here? I don't know if you're still here, but it'd be lovely to hear from you, my lovely. Just to pray for the live quickly and just bless up the live. Because you know what? We need to be reminded. She's not able to join. We need to be reminded that, oh, no, 27 seconds. No, we're not finishing this prayer. Jadane, you're coming back on and you're going to pray for the live. It ends in 10 seconds. So please come back on with us, guys, and we're going to pray for the live, because we all need to be affirmed. We all need to be affirmed. Bear with me. Come back with me in 10 seconds.